Talking sports with Teams with Reams. Yeah. Right now we had some drama or some tragedy happened in New York City, Midtown Manhatten to be exact. So on July 28th, 2025, around 6 p.m. in New York City, chaos and tragedy struck the city. An active shooter began to terrorize a New York City office building. The gunman, who authorities later have identified as Shane Tamiru, I think I said his name right, but it's Shane Tamira or Shane Tamiri. He's age 27. He's from Las Vegas, Nevada. He killed 4 people, including a police officer and a Blackstone employee. I'm gonna get to that in a little bit, later on in the show. Why I have an opinion on that, and I want to get you guys' opinion on that as well. But right now, we're gonna hear from NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch, and she's just gonna break down like what actually happened, and then I'm gonna tell you guys what they're saying, the reason why the guy did it, and all this other stuff, and why it's significant. So just check this out. I want you just check this out and listen to NYPD Commissioner Ms. Jessica Tisch.
At 6:28 p.m., the 911 call center started receiving multiple 911 calls for an active shooter inside of 345 Park Avenue at 52nd Street in Manhattan. What happened next is under an active investigation, and details are still coming in, but here's what we know so far. Surveillance video shows a male exit a double-parked black BMW on Park Avenue between 51st and 52nd Streets, carrying an M4 rifle in his right hand. He walks towards the building's entrance. That individual was seen exiting the BMW alone. The building's security camera footage shows the shooter enter the lobby, turn right, and immediately open fire on an NYPD officer. He then shoots a woman who took cover behind a pillar and proceeds through the lobby, spraying it with gunfire. He makes his way to the elevator bank, where he shoots a security guard who was taking cover behind the security desk. One additional male is shot in the lobby, per his own statement from the hospital. The shooter then calls the elevator, which opens in the lobby. A female exits that elevator, and he allows her to walk past him unharmed. He goes up to the 33rd floor, which is route and management, and begins to walk the floor, firing rounds as he traveled. One person was struck and killed on that floor. He then proceeds down a hallway and shoots himself in the chest.
That was NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch. And this is the whole point of the show today in this episode, because we're going to talk about what they're trying to say, why this guy, what's his name again? Why this guy Shane Tamira, why he went, he's from Las Vegas, Nevada, by the way. So he went in there and just shot up an office building in Midtown Manhattan. I believe it was on between 51st and 52nd Street or something like that in Midtown Manhattan. Now, according to authorities, in CBS.com and other news outlets and stuff, authorities are reporting that the guy left a suicide note saying that he did it because of C.T.E reasons. For those of you who are not familiar with C.T.E, that's so it's basically C.T.E is if your brain is screwed up, and it's common within football players. If any of you out there ever seen the movie Will Smith with Concussion, check it out. That's a huge backstory to the story or whatever. So, long story short, they're trying to say that the shooter, the gunman, went in this office building and shot up all these people because he had C.T.E. and for different reasons, and it was just bothering because C.T.E. for a lot of players who committed suicide or did like random acts of violence when they were suffering from C.T.E, it was a problem in their head, in their brain, and it was hurting them, and all kind of stuff, and they couldn't get rid of it. So a lot of them would commit suicide and stuff like that. But that's what the NYPD say. They say he left a note and everything saying that that's why he did it. He shot himself in the chest. My thing about it is, I don't believe that. this is real, like, this is some movie type stuff right here. They say this guy walked in, as you guys heard from the audio, and killed all these people. A few minutes later, the NFL and whoever else, I'm not going to tell you guys who's sure, but they're basically saying that was the motive. The cops and everything is saying, not the NFL, I'm sorry, but the NYPD and authorities and stuff who were on the scene saying he left a letter saying that it was the reason why, because he was suffering from C.T.E. Mind you, the kid, as far as I looked at, he never, I could be wrong, but I know he never played no NFL ball, and I'm pretty sure he never played no college ball. He played high school football. So this kid, or this young man, went in here and killed all these people, and they're saying it's because it's the NFL, essentially, because that building that he shot up, I forgot this. Let me tell you guys that building that he shot up is a huge office building. It's home to an NFL office. NFL has an office in there, but also it's home to Blackstone, which is to keep it short and sweet, it's a $1 trillion investment company. They investment in different kind of things around America and stuff like that. So I just feel like that has something to do with it. I felt like that as soon as it happened, because I don't know if you guys are familiar with Luigi. He just shot a CEO billionaire of a health insurance company and killed the guy, and now he's awaiting trial or whatever. That was also in New York City. So I don't know. I just have a feeling these guys are covering it up, and they just broke that story so fast. Like, the guy is from Las Vegas, Nevada. He's 27. He had a licensed gun. He just came here just to kill them people, and then within 5 minutes he killed himself. And he shot himself in the chest. Ironically, he didn't shoot himself in the head like most C.T.E victims and stuff like that. So rest in peace to all the victims and everything like that. Not just the police officer and not just the Blackstone employee, because Blackstone had actually issued a statement. One of the employees was actually killed in this mass shooting that happened. His name was Wesley LePartner, and Blackstone reps, according to CBS, sent out their condolences to their rep. Now, so far, I didn't do my research, but I don't know if anyone who's associated with the NFL has been killed yet. So I'm just breaking this down to you guys yesterday. This just happened yesterday. But as of right now, it was 5 people in total. One killed himself. That was the shooter, Steve Tamiro. And then a police officer was killed. A Blackstone employee was killed. Another lady, and I believe one other person was taken to the hospital. For them to just come out 2 seconds, not even 20 minutes, not even an hour after all this occurred, and say the guy killed himself. They found a letter on him and everything. And I just think everything was just too perfect lined up for them. So that was it. It's like, why? I just need more answers. And I believe a lot of people need more answers. And I just had to talk about this because America just lately just been seeming like one big freaking movie, and someone is a director. I don't know who it is, but they're drawing the strings, they're pulling the strings, and they're toying around with us, man. This guy go in there and kill 4 people. For the most part, I'm pretty sure they're innocent. I don't know these people personally. I don't know anything about it, but 4 lives were lost, and that's a tragedy. And you just tell us some BS about a guy going there. He had C.T.E. Like that was his issue. The kid only played high school football. Meanwhile, you have Blackstone in there. If you go on the Department of Justice website or whatever, it's like they're trying to kind of like bury it a little bit. I think so anyway. But anyway, as you can see on the screen if you're watching on YouTube, it says Blackstone Medical pays US $30 million. The lawsuit to wrap it up. I'm gonna leave it on the screen for a little bit, but the lawsuit is basically stating that Blackstone Medical was paying doctors and all these other kind of stuff, just kind of giving them money they shouldn't have been giving them, and they were saying that could lead to maybe the doctors to sometime maybe deny prescriptions or not give them, different things like that. You can read through it or whatever, but that's the link to it. It was on the U.S. Department of Justice. And so I just think maybe Blackstone Medical and the Blackstone company that building, the office building in New York that the guy shot up, all of this stuff seems too close together for me, too much related, too many coincidences here. I don't believe that a Blackstone Medical is completely separate from the Blackstone corporate company in New York City. I just don't think that's the case, and I I don't know. I just think it's something deeper than just what they're saying. You got even a New York mayor claiming that he got off on the wrong. He got off. They got the New York mayor claiming that the guy got off on the wrong floor, and that's why he shot those people, even though it was a Blackstone employee that got killed in this situation as well. You guys can kind of judge on your own with that, but I just think it's something to look into. And us as Americans, we need to start paying attention to these things, because it's a lot of evil and wrongdoing going on around us. And not to say who's right or who's wrong, because I'm not God. No one lies should be taken, but at the same time, people out here are going through mentally is tough out here in America. I feel like people probably sometimes overseas and stuff, they have a different idea of what America is. But this is it. This is America. We fighting for scraps and crumbs out here, and the rich is getting rich and the poor is getting poorer, and people are losing their minds. And then the press and the people who are supposed to be protecting us and letting us know what's going on and stuff like that, they're just feeding us BS. There's no way they can believe that, because we don't believe that. But I could be wrong. We're gonna see. But as of right now, the guy is dead. He was going in there because he was mad at the NFL for C.T.E. and apparently that's their story. They're sticking to it, and yeah, that's it. I don't believe it. So ask yourself, when you see all the reports about this story and everything that went on into it, do you believe that's what happened? And that's why those 4 people lost their lives, was because of C.T.E. and not the $1 trillion Blackstone company that was also a part of the building. That's also stationed in that building with the NFL. Leave the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll check you guys later on Talking Sports and Teams with Reams. Yeah.